This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
It wasn't me, cries out Karanya. TV denies links to the money trail, claims that the IT department knew about the transactions. DMK chief is back with his wordplay, fends off charges of money trail, cites a personal vendetta behind Amma's allegations. But Amma is not keeping quiet, trains her guns on the DMK's first family, argues that they should be probed as well. Double murder case rocks the city. Mylapore is on the edge after the incident shocks the locals. Chirping birds give way to cries by loud shopkeepers. Kalakshetra colony is fast turning into a chaotic commercial hub. Milk producers continue with the unrest, demand a hike in prices of milk. Rajnikant now scores with a bestseller, the book Panchatantra, inspired by Rajni's one-liners. And get ready for yet another 3D adventure this weekend, courtesy of Sanctum. Well, a very good evening and welcome to News Tonight. And now again, the state is hot with political action, with again the two major political heavyweights creating charges. We'll get to that in just a bit. But first, let's take a look at the developments coming in from across the country. Sibal tells NDTV that Arun Shauri's allegations now that the Prime Minister did not act on his complaint are baseless. Rules were tweaked to help Tata Tele services during the NDA regime, says the Justice Patil report. In a second announcement in 24 hours, the Egyptian military tries to placate the protesters, says that they guarantee free and fair elections. And how skipper Dhoni sat on the other side for once, with the media as players giving interviews. On to the top story right away. As the 2G saga unfolds, the talk of the money trail has hit much too close for comfort for some members of the ruling alliance. The line of investigations being pursued by the CBI has put Karanya TV on the radar. Now keep in mind that the Chief Minister's family enjoys a majority stake in this channel. Now the investigating agencies are looking into a 214 crore transaction with Cineyug. However, the Kalinyar has denied any link with the 2G scam and said that Cineyug had indeed invested in its shares earlier. But owing to valuation differences, it was treated as a loan. The channel clarified that their 200 crore rupee loan was returned with interest in 2009. Now, Kalinyar TV said that there was nothing illegal about the transaction because they had followed all the rules and that the Income Tax Department was made aware of these developments. And well, for the first time since the CBI revealed that they were exploring a possible money trail leading up to Kalinyar TV, the Chief Minister Karunanidhi came out and addressed the media. The DMK chief came out with a carefully guarded response. He also lashed out at Jayalalitha, the chief of the AIADMK, the leader of the opposition, for terming his family members as co-accused. Well, the leader of opposition again, I think, wait, before we get to that, I believe our reporter Lokpriya is joining us live over the phone line. And Lokpriya, if you can hear me, again, at this point, there's a lot of speculation about really where this money trail is leading. But then again, judging from the guarded response that we did get from the Chief Minister there, can we, is he showing signs of nervousness at this point?
Yes, Ashmat, if you actually see the DMK patriarch Karunanidhi actually coming out in the open for the first time, that he is saying that there are reports in certain Tamil media for everyone to see, and he doesn't like mischievous questions coming in from reporters. When reporters actually questioned him about the link of the money trail between the Kalinyar TV and as well as the 2G scam, he said that there are reports in Tamil media and people can look into those reports and he will not entertain any mischievous questions. So that's the answer coming in from the DMK patriarch. People are trying to stay away from this whole controversy. And in a sense also playing with words. We know that very clearly that Karnanidhi is kind of a leader who plays well with words, who plays around the words. So it's really actually left to a person to interpret in whatever ways they want. But the answer clearly over here is that he is distancing himself from this whole saga, and I'm sure he's going to have some trick up his sleeve to make sure that this whole thing does not become a poll plank. Ashmit?
Right, Lokpriya. Now, you brought up that interesting point about this issue developing into a poll plank, now, and it is expected to. But legally, his case is looking strong in terms of the transactions that took place. But really, can you tell us about the political cost that the DMK might have to bear in the context of these, again, embarrassing developments, to say the least?
Yes, Ashmit, you were very right when you pointed out that the whole political balance all started off with Raja being named in this whole 2G scam. That was the starting point for the DMK. That's when the trouble for DMK started to brew. So that it meant Raja was arrested, and also when he was produced in the court. So it was kind of embarrassing moment for the DMK, and it was trying to battle a kind of internal crisis also. Remember, there was also rift fissures within the party. Before this DMK public meeting that happened in last week. So there was fissures within the party in terms of the brothers, the MK Stalin and Ayagiri having difference of opinions over Raja. So there were internal crisis the party was battling, and also the whole political embarrassment caused by Raja. So it's indeed paying a very, very heavy price. And now the link of the Kalangar TV to this whole cost has only made it worse. But I'm sure the master craftsman of Tamil Nadu is sure to have some poll strategy up his sleeve to make sure that this does not affect his party, and also in a chance that it does not affect the elections and things like that.
Right, Lokpriya. Now, at this point, again, a final question. Also, a word about, now, this development could not have come at a better time for the opposition parties such as the AIADMK and the left. So, in this context, really, they'll be eyeing these this development as really an opportunity to rake in political brownie points. Can you shed some light on that?
Very true, Ashmit. The queen bee of Tamil Nadu politics, Jayalalitha, has been no time in by making sure that this particular thing turns out to be a poll plan. So this whole thing has actually come up in an advantage for her. So she is not going to let anything to take a dig at the ruling party in the state. So in a sense, it's kind of an achievement for Jayalalitha, where she thinks that this is a chance for her as well as her party to take digs at the ruling party as well as Karnanidhi. So in a sense, yes, it is political brownie points for the queen bee of Tamil Nadu politics.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us with all those details and perspectives. Let's move ahead now. And speaking of the leader of opposition, Jayalalitha, well, she is not staying mum. She has said that the DB group paid kickbacks to Raja and Karnanidhi indirectly. Now, the AIADMK Supremo further added that Karnanidhi and his family members should be named as co-accused in the 2G spectrum case. Now, Jayalalitha also fired salvos at Shahid Balwa, saying that he had transferred nearly 210 crore rupees from 11 companies to Kusega Fruits and Vegetables, and that they transferred 206 crore rupees to Cineyug Films. Now, she pointed at the Cineyug balance sheet, saying that it shows an unsecured loan of 206 crore rupees to Kalanya TV. Well, as the investigations into the 2G scam go deeper, more skulls are coming out of the corporate closets. The latest to stand in the line of fire is a member from the Tata stable, Tata Teleservices. In the latest revelation from the Justice Patil report, the Tata Telecom major was one of the main beneficiaries of the stipulated procedures being twisted during the NDA regime. Now, the report alleges that the rules were manipulated to suit certain corporate interests. Now, the report also gives a detailed picture of how Swan Telecom benefited during Raja's tenure as a telecom minister. The report says, and I quote, telecom officials raised doubts over Swan Telecom's equity holding. Telecom officials also questioned Swan's eligibility twice in January of 2008. Now, the Telecom Secretary S. Behura overruled these objections. Behura said that Swan fulfilled all the eligibility criteria. Now, Minister, and importantly, the report did not mention Raja. The Minister approved Swan's application. The report also talks about how the Tatas benefited during the NDA regime when Arun Shourie was in charge. And while speaking to NDTV's Barkhadat, Kapil Sibal raised the ante against Telecom Minister during the NDA regime, Arun Shourie. Dismissing Shourie's allegations about the Prime Minister, Kapil Sibal challenged the former Telecom Minister to prove his charges.
under your watch as Telecom Minister, the Justice Patil Committee. Now, your friend Arun Shourie says that this is a perversity, this committee. He calls you an advocate for A. Raja. He says that Justice Patil did not call one person to interrogate, to question while he drafted his report.
I must be a very poor advocate. That
he might say that.
The person who I'm advocating for is in jail. The person who I'm advocating for, there's a one-man committee that I set up, which has castigated the functioning of the ministry at that point in time. I must be a wonderful advocate that I'm going against my own client, but be that as it may, I think he must be angry.
Why would he be angry?
I don't know. You have to ask.
But he raises an important principle, yes, which is that should the Justice Patil Committee have drawn up its report without questioning people?
Exactly. Now, what has he found? He has found that the first come, first serve policy itself is contrary to a cabinet decision of 31st of October 2003, right?
Yeah.
And that the first come, first serve could not have been put in place by the then minister. That's what he has found. And that new entrants in the telecom sector had to go through a multi-stage bidding process, as was the cabinet decision.
But the fact
That's
is,
what he has found.
But the fact is,
now in that you don't have to look, go to any, you don't have to interview any people, because this is all part of documentation.
Arun Shourie says that you apparently said that the Prime Minister was informed by A. Raja of every decision he was taking at every time.
Forget about Arun Shourie, please. I mean, let's not. What Arun Shourie said, he must prove. Right? If I am fabricating anything, he must prove it.
But there is
and
still...
the channel that set it out must say what I fabricated.
Okay, so let's leave Arun Shourie on one side.
Let's leave all this, because all these things are said sometimes, you know, at the moment.
Well, here's another issue plaguing the state. Milk producers are demanding a hike in milk prices. Strike a comparison with prices of water. We get you more details about the statewide unrest on the other side.